Good morning. Good morning, legacy builders. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Marcella. Good morning, everyone.
Come on in. Come on in. So glad to be with you this morning. Good morning, Tamika, with your watermelon mint iced tea. I love it. Come on in. Let me know what you're drinking, tea, coffee, whatever your beverage of choice is. Come on in and let me see who's with me. Hello, Latalia, and at not Facebook, Instagram. There you go. Good morning, Francesca, Daniel, my dad. Good morning. Got your water, okay, Daniel, with your black tea.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take my sip now as well. And let me just pause and send a very special happy birthday to my son Daniel, who is with us here. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Daniel. We'll celebrate some more later, but cannot move on before I give a shout out to my firstborn. All right. Good morning, Deborah. Come on in. We are here for another Tea Time Tuesday. Always excited to be here. It's been a time. You guys have been on a journey with us these last couple months, and I'm
Yeah.
just really grateful. Before we get into it, we just introduce ourselves. My name is Marcella Mullen Williams, and I'm here with Mark Mullen. We are the co-founders of Legacy Builder Group, a holistic coaching and investment firm where we help families build an impactful multi-generational wealth with financial certainty. So, with that said, impact, multi-generational legacy wealth is the key for us. We've had an impactful weekend, Mark, to say the least.
I would say that, yes.
Yeah,
For those that are not aware that, and I feel like everyone is aware at this point that this past Saturday, we had the opportunity to experience our mother's celebration of life. And as Marcella has shared before, she is the matriarch of the family, and we have experienced all our lives uh, how much she has impacted us. And this weekend, this celebration of life was something that both Marcel and I've been talking about, and it's been so profound because one of the things we want to make sure is that everything we do, as those of you that are have been following us and a part of our programs and everything, is that we want to be very intentional in what we do in every aspect of our existence. And this celebration of life was no exception. I mean, would you agree, Marcella? It was no exception to it.
absolutely not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean, go ahead, Mark.
no, I just wanted to say that. And because of that, we saw how much it impacted our family. It impacted our community, our loved ones, our friends, and so on. And we'll touch on that a little bit more. But it's so powerful that when you have a plan and you're intentional about it, how much impacts yourself,
Yeah,
your immediate circle, and your community.
yeah.
So that's what we were talking about, right, Marcella?
Right. It really does. So as Mark said, that intention was there to make sure that people will experience our mother's existence, people, whether they knew her or did not know her. Um, they would feel her, they will know what she was about. And again, that's the thing. That's what Legacy Builder Group's all about. That's what we as legacy builders talk about on a regular basis. And our goal is to, how do you use money to serve that purpose? How do we use money, and how do we allow money to be a faithful servant to the purpose that is to allow people to experience us to our fullest, to leave an incredible impact for generations to come within your family and and to everyone that you come across. And Mark, as people shared with us, what they got from, well, okay, so we had a lot of people live. It was it was a packed house, and that was a blessing all by itself. Just when it was time for us to speak, and we stood up, and I just saw the room, I was just like so overwhelmed in a good way, in a positive way, of just how many people loved my mother and wanted to be there to support us as a family, and who just again loved her. And then all the people that joined us online, so many more joined us online, and people who really did not know her only knew of us, and those who knew her, they just had so many wonderful things to say. And that's what you're talking about, right, Mark? Like that impact. That
Exactly. And I want to emphasize something here because when we go back to being intentional and allowing other people to experience your existence, I have to give special kudos to Marcella because she wanted to make sure that those who couldn't be present there can still experience that. And so between Marcella with the idea, I got to give special a shout out to Ronald Williams,
yes, my
made the
hubby.
miracle happen.
Mm,
you know? And what it did is I love how Marcella created this website so people could really experience that existence, not just watch a video, but get to share their experience with our mother, their love and everything, provide photos and everything. I mean, it was unbelievable how people were just drawn into this. And for us, it was like the norm. But what we realized during the process is people were sharing like, I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, we even had the MC was like, "Oh wow, you have a QR code on the program." Just these little things that when you're intentional, you want to make sure that people are going to have a positive experience. And the celebration life is something that you want to make sure it is positive. And because of the things that we've done, again, with the people surrounding us to make sure we can make this happen with the intention in mind, people got to experience something that was for the first time a true representation of what it's like to celebrate someone's life in the midst of someone passing away. And that is something that I really took to heart to see, Marcella, this is why we do what we do, so
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as you're talking, because in the short time that we want to be with you today, and working to keep it short, but I'm just reminded of all that all that our mom instilled in us. And it wasn't until as she was sick and everything was happening. Oops, I'm getting emotional here. I already expected to get emotional. So, Mark, I'm sorry if I make you emotional.
no,
But it all came back that I was like, oh my goodness. Like, if you look at the website, it says the key is that tomorrow is not promised. We shared this, I think, in the past tea times, that uh, she shared tomorrow's not promised, and she raised us with an understanding of death alongside with the understanding of life. So and I've explained, I won't go into the details, but I've explained why our family's so close, because when you understand the value of human life and you understand that each day is not to be taken for granted, you approach life differently. So as I looked back, as my mom was ill and the possibility of her passing and everything that was going on, and then as she passed, I reflect back on my life and I realized, well, duh. No wonder I do what I do. No wonder, Mark, you and I are in the business that we're in, one, and that we're so passionate about serving our people, our clients, and the families that we serve in the way that only we do it. And it's because of the way we were raised by both my mother and our father, how they love people, how they care about family, how they care about marriages, how they care about children, how they care about leaving a legacy. And there was nothing else we really could have been doing, Mark, when I think about it. It's so deeply ingrained in who we are that I it's hard for people to understand that this isn't a job for us. This isn't a career. This is who we are. This is our purpose, our calling. What we're on this planet to do, and how we're on this planet to serve others. And so I'd shared that this weekend, our life, I can only speak for myself, Mark, but my life changed because it's on. Like the baton has been passed and the race continues. And this legacy leadership that we've talked about, but this form of legacy leadership for me has been elevated. And I shared it during the service that I understand the responsibility even more so. Not that I understand because I've always understood it, but I feel it. I feel it. And it was showing up already through my interactions through certain family members and certain people as I
Yes,
was speaking to people, as I was hugging and loving on others. I felt the shift in me and who I am and in my role right now, who the world is requiring me to be, and more importantly, who God is requiring me to be. So that was profound. As in the midst of experiencing the shift, I was cognizant of the shift happening. I was mentally aware of that shift and realizing how it will soon impact others through our business, Mark, through just meeting people everywhere I go. How
yes,
our mother is now with us in a different form, which is so beautiful, which is why we could rejoice and why we can celebrate, because she's not gone, she's with us in a
exactly.
more powerful way.
Exactly. Yeah. It looks like I have a little technical issue with my camera here. um,
Yeah, well, we can hear you, so that's good.
that's all that matters. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Marcella. That when it comes to the fact that physically she's not here, she still exists in us. She's still spiritually here because you see how the family's bonding. You're seeing how friends and loved ones are connecting, and more importantly, through the celebration of life, everyone. I mean, I can't say how many times people were like, "Wow, I've never met your mother, but I feel like I know her." And yes, the stories and everything were great, but they also see how the family also connects in the same manner. Nothing has skipped. If anything, we've gotten even closer, which our mother would have loved that, no question
Mhm.
about it.
Absolutely.
So it really goes back to Marcella, what you talked about last week, passing on that baton. And we had an an excellent, a perfect transition, and I am so thrilled. And like you said, Marcel, this is why we are excited. This is why, and to keep it real, there are moments where, we miss our mother. We're always going to miss that physical presence. But there's something to know that, wow, we are still here in that love that she created, that she built a home of love, and it still exists even today. And that is why we're so grateful and can smile and rejoice, because her life is still going on through us. That existence that she's created, it's still continuing now. And I would say stronger than ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I did make a promise during, when we spoke, I promised that her legacy will live on through me. That her existence will remain and that multiple generations will know of her profound contribution to our family legacy. And I feel like that, Mark, when we launched the Family Legacy Experience in 2023, and we've been blessed to have, two cohorts go through it and going through the process even now. And I've realized that I don't share a lot about it online, people who know about the Family Legacy Experience, they're in this community, or uh, I've just really been keeping it close to the chest because I know how precious it is. I know how impactful it is. I know what we created, Mark, shifts generational cycles. And it's
Mhm.
the thing that so many people are looking for. and desiring for their families. And I realized I have been selfish because I've been in protective mode of this thing. Like, no, 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 only people who get this can be here. And
Right.
I can't be that way anymore. I think that's the other thing I learned from this weekend is no, we have an answer to so many family cries, to so many family situations who not besides the financial assets that we share, we tell people how to preserve and how to build multi-generational wealth. It's the legacy wealth part. It's the intellectual assets. It's how to make sure money doesn't ruin your family. How to use money as a faithful servant to leave a strong impact on the family the way our mother did. And so I just wanted to also just say that no, it's time to share that experience and allow people to know that there is something here for you. There's something more that when you are ready you're ready to make that decision to really shift to the generational cycle that you've been on, that it's not what you want, that we're here. And we're here to support in an even more powerful way. And for our Flex family out there, I just want to send a little love because you guys have been with us for some almost 12 months. Some are still in their first 6 months of the program. And y'all are phenomenal. You have blessed Mark and I, even through this experience, as you've been working and navigating with us through these last couple months. I just want to say thank you so much, Flex family.
Yeah.
And thank you for just entrusting us with your family legacy experience. So I will end with that, Mark. I'll let you add anything else that you want to add
I I think you covered it exactly the way it needed to be shared. I love how you were open and honest about just, you know, being able to expose your baby, right? Our baby and getting this out because it's so important, just real quick. It's so important to understand that again, going back to being intentional, that we saw how the celebration of life of our mother really impacted another level of what we do and how it's important to not just change the mindset, but to be able to really make a difference that will last generations. And that's what we've always talked about, right, Marcel, about not just the present, but we
hmm
want to make this thing so that it multiplies for generations. And it's not just about the finances, it's about the intellectual aspect of the knowledge and the benefits that we are experiencing here. So yeah, so just want to thank everyone as well. To piggyback on what Marcella said, just thank you for being a part of our journey, and to continue to be a part of our journey. We thank you.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I'm seeing the comments. Thank you, Latalia. Let's see, Francesca, Sheila, and quite a few other comments in the chat. Thank you all. I appreciate everyone for joining us here today. And again, throughout this experience, we did not know we'd be sharing our own family legacy experience in this way when we started this process. But here we are, and we're so grateful to be able to share this experience and elevate with you as we help to elevate you and your family legacy experience. So thank you again. Continue to build wealth with purpose. Continue to practice the behavior that will build your family legacy. And we will see you next week for the next tea time. Bye-bye.